on.
By zeroing in on a specific range of colors within the spectrum, you could make the sky bluer or increase the saturation, or maybe change the color palette because the color balance wasn't set up in the camera, or be completely creative with your palette of colors as well.
Well, same thing with audio. You might want to correctively maybe pull out some of the lows on a vocal track where the microphone was, say, too close to the talent, or creatively notch out some frequencies on a vocal to make it sound like it was coming over maybe an old radio. There are a ton of things, really a ton of things you can do with EQ, but they all come down to this common thread that we are manipulating the frequency spectrum to either fix a problem or creatively spice things up. So here's a short list of things that you might want to be able to do with EQ. You could take out the nasally quality of a vocal, maybe decrease the harsh S's and T's in a vocal, increase the punch of a kick drum, maybe carve out some competing frequencies in layering guitars to give them some definition, maybe even make some cool dance music effects where the whole mix sounds like it's coming through a radio. And of course, do things like blend vocals together, even get a better guitar sound through your amp. In short, if you want to polish the sound of any element of your mix, or even your entire mix, then EQ can be a way to do it. So let's look at a short list of the tools to be able to tweak EQ. Now, while there are a ton of different EQ devices, let's break them down into a few groups that you're most likely to come across. First off, instrument amps like guitar amps and so on. Channel strips like what you'd find on any recording or live mixer. Graphic EQs that might be a piece of hardware like this, or maybe even on a mixer, or maybe even inside your computer. We also have standalone EQs that can have you tweaking wide or narrow bands of frequencies, and they might be, again, they might be hardware or software versions. We're going to look at every type of EQ using the tool section later on, but I just want to quickly touch on these. There are a bunch of different ways to achieve the same goal, and that is to carve and modify the tone or frequency spectrum. It's almost like listing the tools that are used in woodworking. How many tools, when you think about it, are there to cut wood? We have band saws that make big, massive cuts to wood, down to fine sanders and routers, even drills, when you think about it. That's a way to cut wood. We're going to learn what types of change we want to make, and then, like a master craftsman, we'll decide what type of tools to use. But before any of that, let's look at sound itself and the basis of the frequency spectrum.